took me several deaths and a handful of terrible strategies to realize one thing. Ashlands isn't just harder, it plays by completely different rules. In Mistlands, you could explore peacefully for 10 minutes without seeing an enemy. In Ashlands, 1 second you're fine, and the next second you're auditioning for your own death montage. If you're watching this, you probably don't feel like the bravest Viking alive. Perfect! This video is exactly for you. These 7 shifts took me from panic mode to having a plan, and from feeling overwhelmed to feeling prepared. Shift 3 forced me to abandon everything I thought I knew about gear. Turns out lighter and more flexible beats heavy armor or sets here. More on that soon. Shift 1. Expect the worst. The first shift. Accept that everything just changed. In other biomes you can wander for 10 minutes without seeing anything dangerous. In Ashlands, be happy if you get 2 minutes. Every time you think, oh hey, maybe it's not that bad, Ashlands spawns a welcome committee. 1 enemy becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, and suddenly you're surrounded. And here's the shift. Don't fight this reality. Expect it. Once you accept Ashlands is this hard, you stop being surprised and you start being prepared. Which brings me to Shift 2. Shift 2. Embrace the challenge. Some creators make it sound easy. I don't sign that statement. Ashlands is by far the hardest biome in Valheim. Even with hundreds of hours played, this feels different. But here's the shift. You don't have to rush. Take it slower. Your only goal is to get what you came for and avoid losing your skills to death. I tried rushing at first, and Ashlands slapped me for it. Lost skills, rage walked back, questioned my life choices. Then I changed my thinking. Slow is safe. Safe means you keep your progress. Unless you're really skilled, which I'm not apparently, speed kills in Ashlands. Patience wins. And patience here means being prepared, which is Shift 3. Shift 3. Overpreparation is your new normal. This is the shift that saved me the most deaths. Forget minimalism. In Ashlands, more is better. Bring multiple gear sets, your main set plus a backup set in case you die. When you die, and you most likely will, that backup gear set saves you from death loop. Since the spawn rates are so high, it's much harder to even get through without being killed again by fresh spawns. Use the best food available. We'll talk about why food matters more than gear in Shift 7, but for now, just bring your best. And meats. All of them. Healing, poison resistance, barley wine, Ratatosk, Lightfoot, Iter regen, Stamina regen. Use them. Don't save them. This is the final biome, for now. So what are you saving up for? Also bring and use utility items. A torch, plenty of arrows, blood potions if you have the materials, which are a good distraction in tight moments. And why bring torches? Picture this, you're already fighting 5 enemies. Then a swarm of vultures joins in. Equip the torch in your offhand. They won't attack while you're holding it. That breathing room, you'll desperately need it. A huge thanks here to Barefoot Cookie for sharing this simple but powerful trick. Now about gear choices. This is where it gets interesting. I went into Ashlands planning to test hybrid builds, magic plus heavy armor. I had experience with pure heavy and pure magic from previous runs. And at first, I hated the hybrid build. Constantly recasting shields, switching weapons, it felt like juggling while being set on fire. Then I died, had to do a recovery run in pure heavy armor, and instantly felt the difference. Heavy armor is safer for 1 or 2 hits, yes, but it's slow, clunky, and the damage just doesn't keep up. The hybrid builds keeps you fast and dangerous. Once it clicks, it's hard to go back. The trade-off, you need to stay flexible. And if you watched my stream, you know, I complained about this build for the first hour. But now I'm glad I stuck with it. But all of this preparation, it's useless without Shift 4, your safety net. Shift 4, infrastructure over pretty buildings. Clutter Ashlands with portals. I know, it's not pretty. It requires you to farm the materials for several portals. You need spots to return to. Establish a protected landing portal. Bring materials for the new shield generator. This is the first priority after landing. I can tell you that one saved me, since I of course died before having set up another portal. But I still had my protected landing spot to recover from. When you start exploring, always have portal materials on you. Drop them frequently. And here's one painful truth. You will always forget something. You're fighting for your life and suddenly you realize you need more arrows. Or you forget poison resistance. Plus, your inventory is always full. Ashlands drops just so much loot. This is where your portal network saves you. Place chests, sort your loot, and portal home. You're not making one epic supply run anymore. That's the old way of thinking. In Ashlands, portal back and forth. And of course, you need a fortress staging portal. The key point here, before securing a fortress, I wouldn't spend time trying to build an outpost. Once you have your fortress, you're safe to build later. Function beats form every time. But even with all these portals and preparation, you still need new tactics. Which brings us to Shift 5. Shift 5. Old tricks don't work here. Everything you've learned before, forget it. High ground, they climb it. Terrain walls, blobs delete them. Pulling one faction into another, everyone here hates you equally, except the Dwarger, and they barely survive themselves. Your old defensive tactics don't work. Ashlands is offensive. You can't turtle here. So here are your new tactics. Lava blobs might destroy your structures, but they also can be used against enemies. They destroy everything. Lead enemies into blob range, roll out when they are about to explode, and let Ashlands do the work. Terrain manipulation still works, but since blobs destroy raised ground, you have to use it more strategically. If you're securing a structure, be ready to lead lava blobs away, preferably into enemies you're already fighting. 2 problems, 1 solution. The shift here is simple. Offensive over defensive. Don't try to build walls and hide. Move and fight. Use the environment against itself. Jump between natural high ground, lead enemies back and forth, confuse them. Let them fight each other and the environment. That's how you survive Ashlands. And speaking of survival, Shift 6 is about your first real goal in Ashlands. Shift 6. Fortress first, everything else second. Your first goal should be securing a fortress. Why? Because it's the only nearly 100% mob-proof location in Ashlands. Everything else you want to do, like exploring everything, gathering and building, becomes exponentially easier once you have a fortress secured. Here's the approach. Siege, retreat, repeat. Don't expect to clear it in one push. It will take time. First, take out the ballistas. Use terrain or build a temporary stairway. Kill the spawners with your staff of embers or a bow. This stops reinforcements. And third, focus on warlocks. They are the real threat. Then clear the rest. Use everything. Meats, boss powers, your best food. And don't get impatient like me and die a totally avoidable death. Retreat when you need to restock, take a break, or when darkness falls. The reward is worth every death. A safe haven in the most dangerous biome. Flame metal, gems, and these transform your progression. Once you've done it once, the second fortress is much easier. From there, plan everything else. But before you even attempt that fortress, Shift 7 will save you hours of grinding. And it's something most players get backwards. Shift 7. Food before gear. The final shift. Prioritize food over gear. Grab plants and meat before you start grinding armor. Your best old gear and new food is good enough. New gear is great, eventually, but food is instant power. While looking for your first fortress, gather food materials. Cook and upgrade immediately. Then focus on gear. Upgrade a piece if you can, but full sets can wait. The difference is huge. More health, more stamina, better regen. And that matters more than slightly better armor while learning the biome. Gear makes you stronger, but food keeps you alive. And in Ashlands, staying alive is the first priority. So, here you have it. 7 shifts that changed the way how I approach Ashlands. Expect death. Embrace the challenge. Overpreparation is normal. Infrastructure over buildings. Old tricks don't work. The fortress first. Food before gear. I didn't want to bury you in random tips. These mindset shifts will carry you through every Ashlands disaster. Once I made these shifts, Ashlands went from frustrating to actually fun. Now, I've got way more to share about Ashlands, but I want to make sure I'm covering what you actually struggle with. So drop a comment. And if this helped you survive even one less death, hit hit like. Subscribe if you want more Valheim content. I test this stuff so you don't have to. Check out my armor testing video. I break down exactly what works in Ashlands. So now get out here, die less, thrive more. I'll see you in the next one. Skål!